Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on Prize Picks. We're hopping into the best plays for the NFL. Super huge matchups coming up, and we want to make sure to target the matchups that actually matter in this because it's coming to that point where a lot of these teams actually aren't playing for anything. So we are going to be focusing on a few of these matchups that are particularly important for both teams involved. So we're going to get into this real quick, but first up, do me a favor, drop a like on this video. Also consider subscribing, and the best thing you guys can do is join the Winnable. This is where I drop free plays, and I also just explain to you guys how to crush DFS apps like Prize Picks and Underdog. This is a very niche video that you're going to watch here. We're not just giving out any bets for any of the games. The entire strategy that I'm optimizing and I'm showing you guys in this video is how to crush these two main apps, Prize Picks and Underdog. There are obviously other DFS apps that you can go after, but if you are on Prize Picks and on Underdog, you are going to make money watching this channel. Now, let's get into, first up, some NFL plays, and then we'll get into the main edge, which is over on the esports and how we can combine them together to make a crap ton of money. Now, we're going to start off with some correlated duos, and one of my favorite correlated duos right now is this Cowboys duo. So we're just going to narrow it down to this one duo right here, where you got the Cowboys, you got Dak Prescott. Honestly, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens are both elite players. You could really take either of them. A lot of people are off on Pickens because of his last couple weeks have been down weeks, but honestly, he could easily hit this line. On the other side, CeeDee Lamb is trending upwards, having over 110 yards in 3 games straight. So both of these guys are looking absolutely insane. What happens here is if you take these guys on the combo, this is obviously a profitable play because you're taking Dak Prescott to have a great game passing the ball. And if Dak Prescott has a great game passing the ball, what's going to happen? CeeDee Lamb is going to have a great game receiving, right? This is very simple correlation where bet 1 is affecting bet 2, right? This is related to this. And PrizePicks knows that, so they're nerfing our payout. They're not giving us a full 3x. Instead, they're giving us a 2.25x, right? So if we just throw in any random play now, which I'll just give an example of a different play, they're going to nerf this all the way down to 4.25x, which is absolutely horrendous. You don't want to be taking that at 4.25. But if you know exactly the strategies that you can do to leverage this and just kind of, get your way past what PrizePicks would consider as their wall, as their payout shift, you can get a little bit of a better payout just like this. You're taking it, and instead of getting a 4.25, you're getting a 5.25x, and all that we did was split those projections in half and take the first half projection as opposed to the second half projection. And you're actually getting a pretty good value here where you got Dak at 129, you got CeeDee Lamb at 35 and a half. It's still very correlated, right? Don't get me wrong. This is still 100% correlated. There's only one main reason why this should be payout shifted is because a lot of times you pass the ball a lot towards the end of the game if you are behind, right? You're going to get a lot more passes in towards the end, whereas you might not be as rushed to do that in the first or the second quarter. It really does not matter to me. As long as they're correlated plays, we know we're getting an edge here, right? But this third leg is super important. We don't want to just take any random play. We want to take an esports play because esports plays, specifically if you just follow the model that I have, are going to be profitable, right? So I'll show you exactly what I mean here. So all we got to do is go over to that esports model where I literally just went over there and checked what the most profitable play is right now. I can't share that online right now because it's only for VIP clients, but the most profitable play right now is literally this exact one on League of Legends. And what's the most important thing that you guys know here is that we're not just taking plays from NFL, from college football, basketball, NBA, college basketball, whatever it is. And we're not trying to get plus EV plays there because it is very uncommon that you get a great discrepancy on a category like the NFL, right? There are so many eyes on the NFL, and the only way you can really get an edge in a sport like the NFL is by leveraging correlation, right? So we leverage correlation to get an edge in our first two legs of our bet. And then our third leg, we're going to go ahead and take this esports play under at 7 kills. Now, this is a profitable play because my personal models have this down closer to 6, and there are other books, namely Underdog Fantasy, has this at 6.5 right now, right? So this, we already know, is favored to go on the under because not only does my personal models agree, which right now we're hitting at a 60% rate, Underdog themselves, which are another great book, have this at 6.5. So we are literally just getting a straight edge here, whereas you're not going to get this at something like the NFL or even the NBA, right? Now, This as a 3-man power play is building to a 5.25x, which is absolutely awesome. Make sure you guys are taking 3-man powers every single time you're betting on Prize Picks. It is by far and away the best slip type on Prize Picks. I literally already released a video about this because if you're not betting 3-man powers, you are losing money, right? 2-man powers are not the way to go. Even 4, 5, 6 mans are not really the way to go unless you are doing the proper correlation strategies. But for 90% of your plays, you want to be taking 3-man powers. And I'm going to go ahead and submit this lineup, and then we'll just hop right into our next play. We're going to build something out with a very, very similar strategy right here. So what we're doing is, once again, we are taking a correlated duo. Now, in this case, we're going to go over to the NFL first half. We're going to go ahead and take this Detroit versus Pittsburgh game. Huge game for both of these teams. Lions 8-6 right now, and they absolutely would need a win. And as you guys can see, Jameson Williams is this player who is super correlated with Jared Goff, right? This last time, Jared Goff popped off for 221 yards, and Jameson Williams also hit on his over. So did Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? I want to show you guys this graph right here, right? So you got Amon-Ra going green, green, red, 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 which means in these last 2 games, he's done very well in the first half. And in the 3 games before that, he's done very poorly in the first half. Now, we can see, how does that match up with Jared Goff? It is identical. When Jared Goff greens in these last 5 games, when Jared Goff has greened in the first half, so has St. Brown. And when Jared Goff has gone red in the first half, so has St. Brown. So what does this mean? This means these two are 100% correlated over these last 5 games, which is a pretty decent sample size when you're going over, just a 14-game season so far. And it's not like these guys play every single game if there are injuries out there as well, right? So you got Goff and you got St. Brown right here. We know this is a good correlated duo. If Goff goes for 145 yards, there is a great chance that Amon-Ra St. Brown has 44 plus of those yards, right? Now, moving into our third slip, we're going and targeting yet another plus EV play on League of Legends. It is about on the under at 10 elims. Now, this is building up to another 5.25x. I want to make this crystal clear, guys. If this play, this specific 3-man play doesn't hit, that does not mean this strategy is cooked. That does not mean that at all. All that means is that we need more volume. We have just taken one play at 5.25x, which means plus 625 odds. That is absolutely insane to assume that you're just going to win off of this one play. All the VIP clients are taking 10 of these plays every single day when these sports are popping, because that is what's going to make us money, right? Volume on this kind of a play is going to make us money in the long run, because if we take 10 slips, we just need 2 of them to cash and we're making a ton of money, right? Here, if you're just taking 1 slip, if it goes red, if it goes green, you really don't know if the strategy that you're taking is profitable, right? So it's about betting with a structure, betting with a system. And once again, this is a great play to take, because we got a 3-man power. We've got and one edge right here, which is correlation. And we've got one edge right here, which is a plus EV play. That's all I got for this video. I appreciate you guys watching to the end. Make sure to join the Winnable, and I'll see you all in the next one.